Guacamole is one of those things to me that it's either great or it's like no good. And I have the best guacamole recipe on my website, and today I'm going to share it with you and show you how to make it. What is up, you guys? It is Carly here, and you're officially cooking with Carly. Today we are making guacamole, and my guacamole is loaded. It is not just like smashed avocados and calling that guacamole. That is not guacamole in my book. To make our guacamole, we are going to use avocados, a tomato, jalapeno, some lime, red onion, cilantro, and some seasonings. This is garlic powder and Lowry's seasoned salt. So basically what it is like smashed avocados mixed with like a really delicious pico. So like a little fresh salsa mixed in with your avocados. So good. So let's start by just prepping all of the stuff. We're going to start with this pico first. I'm going to get this stuff out of the way for now. And that's going to consist of first the tomato. And we just want to dice this up very uniform and small. So I'm just going to cut the top off here. And I don't like all of like the little juicy stuff, so I squeeze it out. You can leave it in if you want, but I just like the flesh of the tomato. All right, let's dice this tomato. This diced tomato is just going to go into the smaller bowl over here. While I'm working on cutting up this tomato here, do me a favor and like and subscribe to my channel. Comment below and let me know how you like to use your guacamole. I am just like a purist that likes it just with chips, but I mean, in tacos is good too, or with quesadillas or nachos. Let me know how you like to enjoy it. All right, I'm gonna go clean off my cutting board here. Next up, let's cut our onion, and we're going to use about a quarter of this onion. We're just going to mince it nice and fine. Cut off this edge here first, tip it upside down, cut in half through the root here, and set this aside. I'm gonna peel this outer layer off, maybe. And then we're going to cut slices into our onion horizontal, and then we're going to cut our onion this way and then this way. I said this way a lot, but I think you get what I'm saying. And that will give us a nice fine mince. Like that. I'm going to cut into it this way so you can see. And don't cut all the way through this end piece here. That's what's holding the onion together for us to make it nice and easy to mince. And now I'm just going to cut the onion very finely, back about halfway, and that'll give us about a quarter of our onion here. There we go. Look at those. All nice and uniform. That's what we want. Next up is our jalapeno, and I'm just going to mince up half of the jalapeno. I'm gonna cut around here. See if we can figure out where these seeds are so we can kind of keep those intact. There we go. All right. We'll cut this vein out and remove those seeds. And those seeds are what are spicy, so make sure you want to remove all of those seeds unless you want a really spicy guacamole, which we're not a fan of over here. All right, just going to mince this up just like we did with the tomato and the onion. Okay. This is turning on me. These are gonna go into the bowl with the tomatoes and the onion. Next up, we're going to do the cilantro. So we want about, a good tablespoon of minced cilantro. So I'm just gonna grab these ends here and kind of pull them all together, and then use my knife at an angle to just kind of get the leaves off of our cilantro there. And then gather it up nice and tight, and we're just gonna mince this. We just want a nice fine mince on the cilantro here, and then this is going into that same bowl. All right, I'm gonna wash off my hand. And lastly, we're just going to squeeze half of this lime into our pico here. Now we're just going to stir and toss this together and set it aside. Next, let's attack these avocados. I'm just going to clear my cutting board off, and we'll get to cutting those. Set this lime aside. We're going to use it in a minute. All right, to cut our avocados, we're just going to cut lengthwise around and then open it up, and we will see the pit inside. Just like that. And to remove the pit, just hit it with your knife. Make sure your fingers are away from the knife, and then you can twist and just pop it out. Just like that. Keep the pit though, because I can't ever get these off. There you go. Because putting the pit into the guacamole will actually keep it from turning brown. So now we're just going to score the inside of the avocado without going through the back part here, and then we'll scoop it out with a spoon. This just makes mashing it a lot easier. And this is going to go into our big bowl here. Just like that. All right. And we will repeat with this half and this other avocado. Here's our last one. Going into the bowl. And to this bowl, we're going to squeeze the other half of the lime. And then add our seasonings. All right. Add our seasonings here, and we're just going to mash this with a fork. All right. We've got our avocado mashed here. And I'm going to just add this avocado to our smaller bowl over here with the pico in it, and then mix it all together. Give it a taste test, and then salt and pepper to season it according to how much you want. I basically just salt and pepper to taste. All right, here we go. Our guacamole is now all ready, and it smells like out of this world. I love making this guacamole to go over to other people's houses as like an appetizer, or like watching football, or Cinco de Mayo, or just for part of dinner. We make this often, and it is definitely loved by all. Make sure to keep your little pits. If you have leftovers, you can put them in, cover it with plastic wrap, and it stays good and doesn't turn brown for probably about 24 hours is your window here before you're going to want to eat all of this. But you're not going to have a problem with that, I promise. Next time you need to make an appetizer or need to bring something to an occasion, turn to this guacamole recipe. It is not going to disappoint. It's absolutely delicious.